Oh, there you are.
Howdy, y'all. Welcome to the CBD Oil 101 class. This is a beginner-friendly class that will help you make an educated decision for your health and wellness. Today's class is co-hosted by me, Christy Underwood, the owner and CEO of the Vegan Crew Health and Wellness business. And I'm passionate about empowering and inspiring fellow chronic illness warriors and spoonies to take a more natural approach to healing. And we're having a wonderful co-host, Dr. Kevin Dibble. Hello.
Hello.
Dr. Dibble is a doctor of chiropractics with over 20 years in practice, and he treats complex skeletal and musculoskeletal conditions, and his passion lies within helping patients find health and wellness through alternative or homeopathic treatment. Now, Dr. D and I have known each other for 20 years, and he's considered family, and I just adore him, and I'm so jazzed to co-host this class with him today. All right, so I'm going to share my screen, and can y'all hear Dr. D okay, I hope? We had an issue.
Oh,
Yeah, good, yes. I'm going to share my screen, and we'll get going on our presentation. All right, the tech guru in effect.
can you still hear me now, Christy?
I'm sorry?
Can you still hear me? Okay.
Yeah, could you hit the volume just a little bit?
Can I hit the volume just a little bit? All right. Let me see. Can you hear me any better?
Yeah, that's a little better, thank you.
All right. So I got a quick question for you for those people not in the know, I guess kind of like me in old school. What is a spoonie?
A spoonie. The spoon theory was actually founded for people who have chronic illnesses, and people will equate how much energy or what they're able to do to how many spoons they have in their hands. So like
Ah,
one spoon, it might take one spoon to just take a shower. And let's say you have only 12 spoons that day, you know what I'm saying? So um, there is actually some YouTube videos that explain it a way more in depth than I ever could, and a lot more eloquently, I should say. But yes, the spoon theory is something that's really kind of taken the chronic illness community by storm.
okay.
Yeah. All right. So before we begin, you guys, we have to get the legal junk out of the way. So
As
just
a,
as always, just remember that it's always best to speak with your functional medicine doctor or your primary care physician before you start. Let me turn my phone off so the ringer doesn't do that. So that when you're adding any new supplements or anything to your healthcare routine, that you're taking care of and not putting yourself in any sort of danger. And please know that with every individual, all results will vary. Okay, so we got that out of the way. So let's dive into today's class. All right, so an unknown author quotes CBD oil because some people don't want to get high, they want to get health, right?
that's right.
And one of the amazing things about CBD oil is that we can add this to our supplement or to our wellness routines, and we're not going to suffer impaired judgment or slower reaction times or that euphoric high that THC and marijuana contain.
Yeah.
All right. So what is CBD oil? Cannabidiol is a phytocannabinoid, and it was discovered in 1940. Cannabidiol, or CBD for short, is one of the many active compounds found in the cannabis sativa plant. And in this presentation, we'll be learning about the difference between CBD and THC, and the difference between an isolated CBD oil and a full spectrum CBD oil. We're going to learn the benefits of CBD oil, what the endocannabinoid system is, and who can use CBD oil, and also how can we get a pure USDA organic vegan full spectrum CBD oil for your wellness chest. That's going to be a whole lot for one class. And so to back up a little bit, if you don't know what a wellness chest is, most folks have a first aid kit or a chest with, it's filled with like toxic medications or over the counter stuff with petroleum based ointments and salves. And these items are meant mainly for reactionary responses. Okay, we've scraped our knee, we need to go get this stuff kind of thing. A wellness chest contains things that are meant for preventative natural care. So yeah, I have ointments and salves, but they're made out of plant-based ingredients, so that I'm not needing to find a prescription to deal with my, my body being toxic, overly toxic or something like that. That's what a wellness chest is. All right, so I'm going to turn it over to Dr. D for the next slide.
All right. Well, the difference between THC and CBD. Let me first just kind of start out. And the biggest question I get asked, most, I mean, is this, what are we taking here? Marijuana? What is it? What I would kind of start off with and implement is from the cannabis plant itself. There's actually two different forms of cannabis plant. There's the marijuana plant that a lot of people know out there, and there's the hemp plant. Now, with the hemp plant, which is the one where most CBD oils are actually come from, it's very high in CBD and it's very low in THC. In fact, it's less than 0.3% THC. With a marijuana plant, you're going to have something that's very high in THC and very low in CBD. Okay, now that's very kind of important. So we want the CBD portion of it, not the THC. Why do we not want the THC? Well, what do you know about the THC? One, it's a psychoactive, properties. Two, it has that abuse or dependency, potential there. It's not legal in most states, except for maybe a couple like Colorado, especially without a prescription. Okay, impairs judgment, impairs our ability to work, impairs our ability to drive. Then what's CBD? Now CBD, you have all those natural health things that come along with it. It does not impair our judgment. It does not impair our ability to drive. It does not show up on any drug tests. I can tell you, I've had a drug test myself with my job, and I've come out completely clean, nothing in my system. There's no evidence of risk with the use of a pure CBD. There's no abuse or dependence potentials whatsoever with it, and there is substantial health benefits that are being proven across the United States and in other countries as well, with studies that are being done, and we're just really still on the groundworks of this and all the advancements that CBD has actually been shown to do. And that's going to get into as we start to talk a little bit more about the endocannabinoid system. But if you want to go to that next slide, Christy, there. So what about CBD oil with THC? This type of CBD oil, as we talked about, is not legal yet. For our master class today, we'll be primarily discussing the CBD oil that has been legalized in all 50 states, okay? And that's that CBD oil from it's derived from the hemp, all right? So with that, I would actually kind of add this a little bit to it. So we're all kind of familiar with the Marijuana Act of 1937 that kind of banned the use in the sale of marijuana. That was replaced in about the 1970s by the Controlled Substance Act, which we're all very familiar with right now. Okay, that slowed that whole process of the advancement and kind of figured out what actually can benefit that we get from marijuana or CBD. And again, that's why it wasn't until almost the 1940s, as Christy said, earlier, that we started to really notice some stuff. And then you start to fast forward into 1990s, where the research really started to take place, and they started to discover the endocannabinoid system and all these endocannabinoids that kind of come along with it, and your different gene models with that. So that's where we're kind of at right now, and we're going to go in a little bit more right now into that endocannabinoid system.
All right, so what is the endocannabinoid system? These are receptors, and they're throughout our entire body, and you're going to see that this neurotransmitting system is in all mammals, not just in humans.
Right.
And the ECS helps regulate and balance our bodies, thus causing homeostasis. However, now, like I was saying, all mammals have this, so it's really cool that we're finally figuring out that this endocannabinoid system is really responsible for so many functions. So it regulates things like our nerve function, recovery from stress, reduces inflammation brought on by toxins and unhealthy food and beverage choices. It supports our immune health, because our toxic lives and standard American diets are thrashing our immune systems. It helps us store and gain energy. I mean, who doesn't need energy? And our ECS, or the endocannabinoid system, also helps the life of our cells. It regulates our reproductive system. It helps our circulatory system. So if you have like diabetic neuropathy or like Raynaud's, for example, our endocannabinoid system is helping to regulate that. So CBD oil coming to the rescue.
What I would kind of add to this, and everybody kind of asks me, what is homeostasis? Homeostasis is just that balance between all the different, systems within our body. So it starts to regulate that balance, that natural balance that we should actually have within our systems. Now, the other thing that I would actually add on, to this word right here is, as we get older, what they've actually found with a lot of those studies is our production of the endocannabinoids in our system start to deplenish, and we start to get those low endocannabinoids flowing within our system. So with that, our balance and our ability to kind of maintain our body's balance starts to really decline.
Right. Yeah. And so I was really surprised to hear that, the endocannabinoid system actually even helps regulate blood sugar and plays a part in bone development. I mean, there's so many things that it helps with. And anyway, but it's been overlooked in the medical community. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I'm thrilled that CBD oil is forcing science to do more testing, and that we're finding out more info at a really rapid pace. That's really exciting news. All right, so if only we could turn back time to when we began prescribing opioids for pain. We have an endocannabinoid system. We don't have an opioid system. And if I know that if I would have been offered CBD in lieu of an opioid, I would have probably taken it. Just, many, many years, most of my adult life on opioids. And so, we may need we may need opioids for, after surgical care, or, we have an accident or a fall, but using these medications for chronic conditions, that's where we miss the mark completely. I feel like, now that it's being legalized, I have such amazing, high hopes for my fellow Spoonies' well-being. I'm so excited for the chronic illness community, because CBD oil is just, everything that it's helping is just phenomenal. I'm so excited.
Kind of what opioids do to our system, alone, and just having those kind of things in our system, they wreak havoc really on us. And it's not a safe really thing to be taken. It's not a safe thing to be taken for any periods, a long period of time, especially if you're in, chronic kind of pain. So it just plays a lot of havoc. What I would say is, if you're on an opioid and you're looking at CBD also, you really have to start to, watch some of those things, because like we said, one of the things about CBD is that it creates homeostasis, and it works within also our liver, and it starts to help to decrease that normal half-life of any medication that we're on. So whatever medication that you're taking on, whether it's for your diabetes, your hypertension, for any kind of pain medication or whatever else, one of the things that CBD does is it slows that breakdown within the liver. So therefore, it prolongs whatever medication you're taking within your bloodstream for a much longer period of time. Okay. So, and with that, it makes whatever medication you're actually taking far more superior, and it's going to make it last a lot longer within your system. So it's going to make it a lot more effective too.
Well, while I don't maybe share your enthusiasm with that, because to me that could definitely lead you into toxicity of the medication and things like that.
Again, that's where you have to make sure that you're talking with your physician and you're working with your functional health, doctor, and everything across the board whenever you're taking a CBD and you're on other medications. That's kind of what I want to make sure we're making that point.
Please know that you should never taper off opioids or benzos or anything like that without your doctor's care. I just want to put that in there. All right. So I've been talking with folks on social media for quite some time, and I was wanting to know what questions they have concerning CBD. And the most frequently asked questions have been like, is CBD legal in all 50 states? And the answer is yes, and we've touched on this a little bit already. Another question is, does CBD give you that high or euphoric feeling? And we discussed that, but the answer is no. Another question, frequently asked question, is what health benefits can be seen by CBD oil? So let's dive on into that question now. And in these next few slides, we're going to be discussing a couple of studies performed on CBD oil and certain health conditions. So please remember that we're all different and results may vary. Please seek the advice of a functional medicine doctor before making any changes to your current health routine. All right, so Neurotherapeutics did a study on mood disorders and found that there's evidence that strongly supports the use of CBD for treatment of disorders like generalized anxiety disorder, panic disorder, social anxiety disorder, or OCD or PTSD. And this is wonderful news for our mental health needs. You know, as someone who has had mental health issues, I am so glad that there is this CBD oil that can further help folks being prescribed toxic medications. You know, there's another natural route. Not that there's not already some natural routes, and we can talk about that on another video, but you know, CBD oil is a wonderful tool to use for our mental health. And let's see. The Journal of Experimental Medicine did a study on how it responds to chronic inflammatory pain conditions and neuropathic pain. So what they found is that that CBD oil is successful in treating these two types of pain. And bonus, what they found is that when using CBD oil for chronic pain issues, we're not building up a tolerance to it like we would with traditional medications prescribed for chronic and neuropathic pain. That means it's time for a celebration. Because I don't know about you guys, but every time I would, you know, I would switch to a new opioid because it had lost all of its effectiveness. It wasn't working anymore. So that's wonderful news. Appalachia did a study on CBD oil and how it benefits neurological disorders like seizures and epilepsy. And their reports say that due to CBD's anti-inflammatory properties, it has been proven beneficial in several neurological disorders. So if you were to just do a Google search for the benefits or the testimonials of CBD oil, you know, you'd be quite amazed and excited for what a gem, you know, this plant is actually doing for everyone's health and wellness.
And they're just on the cusp too, Christy. I would actually put of everything that this is actually affecting. I mean, everywhere from, you know, the studies on schizophrenia to the study of, you know, brain conditions like, you know, glioblastomas and stuff, and how it's actually affecting those. I mean, so that's really exciting actually from our, you know, standpoint, you know, the medical community, because that means it's getting past the blood-brain barrier, which most medications don't. So that makes a huge, you know, advancement forward in what's actually happening, what we're actually seeing out there with that.
Right. So, you know, there's other benefits as well, like Dr. D was talking about. You know, we might see some help with diabetes, sleep, arthritis and joint pain, relief, clarity and focus, and more. There's so many things that CBD is helping with due to those receptors being all over our body, those endocannabinoid receptors being all over our body. And for me, you know, of course I'm doing a dance of joy, but like, you know, what have I seen personally? What are those benefits that I've seen? Well, I've been taking it for almost like 2 months, and what I've noticed is a decrease in appetite, better focus, and I'm sleeping 7 to 8 hours per night consistently. And that's been a real chore for me because I'll sleep 30 minutes, I'll sleep 4 hours, I'll sleep 5 hours, but I wasn't getting much over 6 hours, and it would just be from pure exhaustion, and that's because of menopause. So you ladies are all familiar with that. We don't need to even go into it any further. Dr. D, what have you personally noticed using CBD?
You know what? I can honestly say I look at this little slide right here. Relief from joints and arthritis. I've got a shoulder. My shoulder is a bum shoulder. I wasn't, before taking this product, I wasn't even able to sleep on my right side without just waking up in extreme pain and multiple times throughout the night. So now I'm able to sleep 7, 8 hours throughout the night. And on that shoulder, which is still just boggles my mind that I'm able to do that. That sleep, that better sleep, that relief from the joint and, you know, pain in my shoulder, the better focus. Oh my God. But the girls at my work literally started to ask me, what are you on? I don't know what it is that you're taking. And this was, you know, again, out of the blue. And they're like, because you are so focused at work, it's like, we're wondering what's going on. Are you mad? No, it's just, we look back and you're just extremely focused on what it is you're doing. And I'm a person that has that ADHD. I'm normally all over the place, but
I don't like to label it like that.
But yeah,
Dr.
okay.
I like to call it shiny object syndrome or squirrel.
Yeah, I'm a big squirrel kind of person here. Now, I would tell you my anxiety level has just dramatically decreased. Now, I was one of those people that also, when I slept at night, I stressed in my sleep. So much so that I have been a long-term chronic sufferer of migraines. I would stress in my sleep, and I would literally wake up with a full-blown what's called a tension migraine. And if those of you that are out there that suffer from migraines, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the one where it's going over the eye and it's coming, pushing out you know, my right eye, to where I have to close my right eye because literally it feels like my eyeball is going to pop out of my head, kind of, you know, migraine. Debilitating, can't take light, can't take anything. Since I've been taking this product for now about almost 3 months, I can honestly tell you I have not had one migraine, not one. We're talking about a person that suffered from migraines 2 to 3 times a week, to have none.
That
I
is
even
so amazing.
describe. That's just, you know, my personal thing, but it has changed my life to not to have to wake up or to have those migraines in my life. So that's just me.
Yes. No, those are all wonderful, you know, testimonials to CBD oil. I used to be a chronic migraine sufferer, but I was able to get mine under control with some magnesium and better diet and things like this. So,
What I would tell you is CBD, because it creates that homeo balance. A lot of times at first, you don't even realize everything that it's doing for you. I didn't
yeah.
even realize the migraines at first until, I mean, literally, like my girls were like, Dr. Dibble, you haven't come in complaining about a migraine in like week. You know, I'm like, oh my God, you know, you're right. Like Dr.
Yeah.
D, you're gorgeous. You know, like, oh my God, you're right. You're just so calm and you're so stressed and you're no longer stressed out. You don't even realize a lot of the things that it's doing to you until people around you start this, and then you look back and it's like, oh wow, it did. So I mean, that's where I would tell you, even if you don't really think that it's actually working for you, I guarantee you that it is. So don't always get discouraged. Hey, it didn't take away all of my shoulder pain, or hey, it didn't do this. It is working for you. Again, it's creating that homeostasis within your body, and it is actually regulating something that maybe you didn't even know that your body needed.
Yeah.
It is regulating within your system, and I guarantee you it will show up.
Yeah, it's one thing about CBD oil. It's not a just take it once kind of thing. It's an accumulatory type of supplement. So the longer you take it, the more health benefits you're going to see. All right. Let's see. Okay. We were here and I didn't even know it.
Yeah.
Another question that has been asked several times is, you know, who can use CBD oil? And is it appropriate for like children or the elderly or our furry companions? And the answer to that is it really depends on the brand of CBD oil that you use. Now, not all brands are created equal. And I'm just going to show you the brand that Dr. D and I have entrusted our health and wellness with. It's called Zilis Ultracell. And this is the CBD oil tincture. And I get the berry flavor. It's what I prefer. And then this is the topical CBD oil that is amazing. So if you've got a bum or tricky hip like Dr. D and I do, that CBD topical is amazeballs.
Oh yeah.
And just make sure that you know that you need to speak to your doctor before adding in, new supplements to your life, so that you're not wasting money on medications that aren't going to work, or contraindicated or something like that. Because like Dr. D was saying, sometimes it can actually make the lifespan of your medications go longer. So just make sure that you speak to your doctor.
What
All
I would
right.
also add to there's actually with this, I mean, now with the product that we actually use, there's a dosing actually for any one of your pets. I have, a couple of my pets on it, and they work wonderful, on top of it. Yes, it does help, children, but know what it is that you're taking. One of the things actually I was going to quickly say with that bottle that Christy showed you, there is a, QR code on the back of that little bottle. And so with that, you can actually get a QR scanner. You can take and scan that code right there, and you're going to know everything that is about that bottle, everything that you need to know, what's in it, what its source, where it's at. There it is again right there. So know what it is that you're taking, know what it is that you're putting in your body, and know the study that was actually done on that particular batch right there. So that's very important. That's what I would tell you.
And this
All
is
right.
all you, Dr. D.
All right. So what is full spectrum? You know what? I actually get this question quite a bit from a lot of people. And what I would actually state is full spectrum just kind of means that it's derived from the entire plant. Okay. So not just the bulb. No, it's from the bulb. It's from the stalk. It's from the stem. It's the entire plant itself. And it's not synthetic. It's not actually from any kind of unsynthetic type of property. What I would say is a full spectrum hemp oil refers to when the pure oil extracted from that hemp actually contains all of the same cannabinoids and components found within the original hemp plant. Okay, so what I'm stating is, unlike a synthetic or unlike an isolate, cannabinoid full spectrum hemp oils contains an array of cannabinoids, and you can actually see this slide. So it has an array of cannabinoids, which is like number one. It has flavonoids in it. Okay, we know flavonoids, as you know them, are those phytonutrients from like your vegetables and your plant substances. It has an array of terpenes in it at different levels. Now your terpenes are typically where we start to get our that sense of smell from whatever it is. Okay. It has a full array of vitamins, like your vitamin A, your vitamin C, your vitamin E, your B complex vitamins, just to name a few. It's got minerals in it. So with that, you're like your magnesium, your calcium, your potassium, your zinc. It has omega fatty acids, your omega 3s, your omega 6, and your omega 9s. All this is being derived from that hemp plant. So when you're actually taking something and it's a full spectrum like this, not only are you getting the benefits of the CBD itself, but you're literally getting a full vitamin regimen with that dose. And actually, it says there's more than just CBD. There's over 400 active components. They all work synergistically together, and they encourage a phenomenal effect. So there you go.
I'm kind of muting myself. I hope that y'all will please forgive my furries. It is their time of day to bark. So, so while we're on the subject of frequently asked questions, another one that I've gotten is, how do you know, or how do you use or take CBD oil? And now, while the best way is to take the CBD oil from the dropper and drop it under your tongue and take it sublingually, there are other ways to take CBD, or to use CBD. Zilis is the brand that Dr. D and I use, and it has a wonderful taste, which is really, really rare. I want you to know, because I've searched CBD oil for months, and so it's really rare to find a good tasting hemp oil or CBD oil, and this stuff, Zilis, tastes amazing. So you're just, like I said, you're doing just 1 ml dropper squeezed under the tongue, and we're going to allow it to stay there. Dr. D likes 30 seconds, but if you can get 15 to 30 seconds and then just swallow the rest, that is the best way to consume it.
Yes.
However, if it still isn't a taste you prefer, I understand, especially with children. And what you can do is go to Amazon and get one of these little veggie caps. And what happens is these open, and you'll just stick your CBD oil in there, close it up, and then swallow the capsule. Now, notice that this is going to have to go all the way through your digestive system, so you're not going to get the potency or the benefits that you're going to see if you take it sublingually.
Yeah. The fastest absorption into the body by far, bar none, is sublingually. It's
Yeah.
going to get right into the bloodstream immediately, and it's going to have the most effect, to it. But there are those people that they can't handle the taste or whatever else. But I'm going to tell you, if you can go out there and you want to try any other CBD out there, you're going to taste a huge difference. They're going to taste like something that's been burnt. They're going to taste like it, you're actually sitting there putting marijuana in your mouth. The taste is not going to be great.
I've had some really grody tasting ones.
Oh, so have I. And the taste on the Zilis is bar none the best out there, and it's by far the most effective product out there on the market today. So
you can also use the CBD topical ointment, and with Ultracell, if you're using this brand, you're going to take just a pea-sized amount and apply it to the area that you need attention, and repeat as needed. So if you're using this brand, though, if you're using Zilis, please know that this is not meant for your private areas or on your face or sensitive areas. Basically, don't get it in your eyes and things like that, because it has ingredients that are like essential oils that are referred to as hot oils, like peppermint and oregano. And these essential oils can cause the topical to burn our sensitive areas, So just be aware that when you're using this, don't, if you've got a groin ache or something, you probably don't want to put this in your groin area.
Well, you know what I would actually tell you also with that topical, more than just your aches and pains like that right there, they're finding that topical right there is helping tremendously with patients with psoriasis, with different forms of skin rashes or, skin conditions and stuff like that.
Excellent.
And I mean, it's literally within 24 hours, they're seeing dramatic effects of their conditions.
That's wonderful.
You got to try it. That's the only thing I would tell you. You got to try it. But I use that topical. I love that topical. It works great on, those days when my shoulders kind of bother me just a little bit more, or my hips bothering me. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's really great for low back, arthritis, neuropathic, joint, and muscle pain. It's really great. Okay, Dr. D, it's you.
All right. Well, I love this slide. I really do. Because I get asked this question, are our body really, made of 70% water? Yes, our bodies are 70% water. That's everything. Water is in everything from down to the cellular level, all right? So because the cell is predominantly water, it's within the brain, it's within the muscles, it's within the blood. Everything that we have within our system has water within it, so we are 70% water. So when we actually talk about this slide, we talk about how do you get past the fact of the getting it within your system, because what we actually know is with hemp, most hemp is an oil, right? It's a hemp oil. Well, what's oil? Oil and water don't mix. So if you've ever tried to put oil and water together, they don't mix well, right? So with that, how do we begin to cross that balance, right? Well, with an oil, what we've actually found is there's only a 6% absorption with any kind of oil out there. Not only is there only 6%, absorption, you have a delayed onset of that within your system, because it takes up to 60 to 90 minutes for that to actually get fully into your system. So, and on top of that, you only have a short duration with that. So the effectiveness of that property, it takes almost 60 to 90 minutes to get into your system, and then you're going to have a short duration that it's actually going to be effective, and that's about 3 to 4 hours. Well, Zilis actually came out and found a way using the Ultracell technology to make it water soluble. And why is that so important? Because why? Our body's 70% water. So if you can make something water soluble, the absorption is far greater. Matter of fact, they did a study with the Mayo Clinic. They actually gave, their product to the Mayo Clinic and said, hey, do a study on this, double blind. Don't let us know what's actually going on until you're actually done, right? The Mayo Clinic actually came back and said, you have a 94% bioavailability in this product, which means that instead of 6% absorption, you have a 94% absorption. And not only that, within 5 to 15 minutes, you went from automatically to 94% absorption within your system. And not only that, the Mayo Clinic actually showed that at 12 hours, you still had a 94% absorption rate within your system. So it was still effective 12 hours later. And they actually stopped at 12 hours. They didn't go past the 12 hours. So we don't even know at this point how long it actually stays in your system. But that's a huge difference. So we're talking about a 6% absorption in 3 to 4 hours versus a 94% absorption because we've made it water soluble and up to 12 hours plus within our system. And that's huge. And that's what makes the difference. And that's what makes that Zilis product that we're talking about so great.
Yes, absolutely. So we've touched on the company that let's see, where are we at? Oh, so sorry. My furries are really throwing me off my game here today. So the last frequently asked question that I've been asked is CBD oil covered by insurance? And the short answer, folks, is no. Sadly, most supplements aren't covered by insurance. And since CBD oil is a natural supplement, it really just doesn't fall under the category of medical care. Now, I'm someone who lived on Social Security disability, and I know how trying it is to be able to eat, have a place to live, and also get the treatments we need to survive. It's a difficult life. And so Dr. D is going to be explaining some really great options and ideas for folks that need assistance in paying for the CBD oil or would like to even make a buck or two. And let's touch on, again, the company that we're talking about and that Dr. D and I entrust our health and wellness to is Zilis Ultracell. And we've both seen such amazing results for ourselves and our loved ones. Dr. D, would you like to explain more about what the Zilis name means and more about the company?
All right. So Zilis is actually a Swahili name, and it actually means multiplying nutrition. So, I mean, the founder and everything with the Zilis product, he did a lot of overseas volunteer kind of work. And when there was disasters and everything. So what he actually found when he was there, and I mean, that was part of his main passion, was that disaster relief would actually come in and they would help, initially. But then, once another disaster came in, they would immediately leave that area. And then they were left with, all those people were left and still needed a lot of help. So there's a lot of children out there that needed, vitamins. There was a lot of pregnant mothers out there that needed any kinds of, prenatal vitamins and stuff like that. So when he's also then started to found the Zilis, he actually said, you know what, I want to pay this forward. I'm going to take off the top of every cell, not before I make, my profit, off the top 100% before he makes the thing of every cell. And we're going to use that and we're going to pay it forward. And we're going to give vitamins to those kids in need. We're going to give prenatal vitamins to mothers in need. There's also a program out there that's called the Patriot Program for those patriots out there that are suffering from PTSD, to be able to get them supplements and be able to get them on, on the CBD because of everything that's actually happening with it. There's so much to actually tell with this company. I can't even begin. I'm just going to try to keep it like simple right here. And I would tell you to, if you haven't gone out there and really studied the Zilis product, I encourage you to go and do it. All right. And see what it's all about, because I guarantee you will be amazed by what this company does and how they pay it forward. So now we actually, the 3 ways to kind of save or make money with Zilis. Well, the first, way is always going to be a retail profit. All right. So you can actually buy this product from Christy and I, and we would be more than glad to actually give it to you. And whether that's a 7-day little trial, or that's, hey, I love this product, I need to be on it. And then there's the 1 month, product, right? Those range the 7-day trial for about $30, I believe, for that, like Christy. And I think the 1 month is $150. And we would be glad to, to help you out with it. And for those people, I've got multiple people that come actually to me for these products, and they buy it from me, from the retail. And I understand that. Now, what happens though, in most cases, is that they're like, hey, so how do I get this at a lower price? And that's what I would tell you to kind of become a member. And once you become a member, so you have a one-time $99 fee. With that, you're going to get it you're able to buy it then at that wholesale price. So you get that wholesale kind of, pricing with that, and you're going to save a significantly amount of money each month, and you're going to be able to have that product on hand. But what I would tell you is what you're going to see, and what I've seen, and everybody else happens. They keep someone tries it, and they're like, no, I just want to, buy it from you. And I'm like, okay, but then everybody keeps asking them about this product. They keep asking them about this product, and they keep sending them to me. And I mean, that's all great and wonderful. I'm like, thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, but at the end of the day, I'm going to go back and ask them. You keep sending all your people to me. And believe me, I love that. But why don't you sit there and become an owner? Because let them come to you, and you make the money off of this. And not only can you then fund, your product, but you're also going to be helping a lot of people, and you're going to be able to make money off of that. And that's becoming a business owner. And there's different levels that you can come in as a business owner, as low as $199 all the way up to $12.99, and that just kind of depends on how much product you actually get at the start, and what level you actually kind of want to come in at. Okay, but there's tremendous opportunity in this business. Tremendous. I'm going to tell you, we are just at the cusp of what this is actually doing. And it's almost like getting in at Apple before Apple, right before Apple. So when you look at that level, Apple kind of did one of these things right here, right? So we are just down at that ground floor, just right before it's starting to take off, because CBD is really becoming a major thing. So earlier Christy commented on hey, it's legal within the 50 states. So that actually just occurred just recently, and as recently as March, they had to go back and they had to amend that previous Controlled Substance Act, and they actually had to say, hey, anything derived from a hemp plant with that hemp oil is now legal within the United States. All right, so federal law has actually been changed to say hemp is legal within the 50 states. All right, now all 50 states now have to combine with that. But you know what, folks, let me kind of go back just 1 second. Let me tell you why I got into this and what made the difference for me. Not just because I tried it. This actually goes back even further, and this goes back to when my mother had suffered from a condition, and it was a brain condition. And so with that, we spent time in the hospital. Then we spent time in rehab. She was having to learn how to walk again. We finally went through all the rehab, and we got her out. And even though we had her home, she couldn't function around the house. She couldn't get up because she had this dizziness, and she was always dizzy. Whether she was sitting down or as soon as she got up, she was dizzy, and she was always kind of falling over to the right. And so, I mean, someone had to be with her all the time. And I was looking through everything out there. I was looking at all the different types of CBD to say, hey, would this actually help her with this kind of condition? Doing the study. One of my good friend, Dr. Friends, came to me, and he's like, I was telling him, a story about my mom, and he says, Dr. D, I want you to try this. He says, I want you to try this. And you know what? I don't even want you to pay me for it. I'm like, what? He says, no, I want you to try this. And I just want you to tell me how this does for your mom. That's all I want. I'm going to do this for you because you're a longtime friend of mine. I'm like, okay. So fast forward a little bit. I bring it home. I said, Mom, I want you to take this. This is what I want you to do. I want you to do this every single day. And those things where if you didn't see it, you wouldn't believe it, because I'm going to tell you, as a doctor, I still have that disbelief. There's that inherent kind of wanting to know why, that disbelief. It's this kind of like voodoo kind of stuff. But I would tell you that within 3 days, my mom's dizziness was completely gone, 100%. Within 6 days, she was able to get up from a chair and move around without a walker. She was able to walk around the house with a cane or use without a walker. Yeah. I can't even begin to describe you what that did in my life. Now this is before I actually started taking it myself. This is just what I'm actually seeing with, my mom. I went back to that doctor and I said, what is this stuff and why is it so effective? And he just kind of gets a smile. He goes, you know what? I'm right there with you. But he says, I'm just as skeptical as you, but the more people I give this to, the greater the results that actually come back. He says, I can't even begin to describe it.
Yeah.
And it was at that moment I was like, you know what? I don't care. Sign me up. I'm going to be a member in this. I'm going to do whatever it takes to not only get this to my mom, to get this to every one of my patients out there, to get this to anybody I know.
Yeah.
And that's been my mission. Because everybody, I guarantee that you go out there and say, hey, here's a 7-day trial. Get the 7-day trial. Try it. I guarantee you it will change your life. And that's where I started. After I started to see the results with my mom, that's when I went on this product. And again, like I tell you, I was still skeptical. I didn't think it was going to work on me. I didn't really have any other conditions that, my mom, had. Next thing you know, my migraines aren't there. I'm able to sleep on my shoulder, which I hadn't been able to do in months and months and months. I was sleeping 7 to 8 hours, which I hadn't done in years. I was able to focus. It's just insane, folks. And I would tell you, you're going to see the same thing. So yes, you can buy it from us retail. Yes, you can also become a member just to be able to, so you can get it at a wholesale price. But I guarantee you, most of y'all, you're going to come to me. You're going to want to be a business owner in this company. And if you do, come to Christy, come to me, come to whoever you want, reach out to us, and we will help you to become a member, because you're going to see the same thing that we saw. And so,
yeah, and another thing that if you're still skeptical, like, just like we all were, there is the Zilis 7-day challenge, and you'll get the miniature bottle of it, and actually you can just do the challenge where you take it and see how you go with it or whatever. But there's also an actual challenge if you want to do that. And that's where you film yourself and you get entered to win some prizes and things like that. And our, with all of the classes that I conduct, I always make sure there's like a web page of resources, of wellness resources. So the actual challenge details will be in the page, the web page of resources for you guys, so that you can understand the fine print of how to do the Zilis 7-day challenge if you're wanting to enter in to get, Zilis products, cash, trips, whatever else. There's all kinds of things that they award. So that'll be included in that. But if you just want to take the 7-day and not commit to a full month, just let me know, and we'll get you a smaller bottle to try for 7 days and get you hooked up. All right. So if you're ready to take control of your health and, begin implementing some natural remedies into your life, I have made myself accessible to you for a chat. And we can discuss CBD oil and what is going to best suit your personal health needs. I wanted to say that, and I didn't get to say this before, this CBD oil comes in berry and lemon, and we just rolled out with a CBD oil raw. And I'm really excited about the CBD oil raw because we can put that in, our facial cleaning routine or moisturizing routine. There's just so much you can do with this, the CBD oil raw. I think that it's going to be more tasty to the fur babies, to be quite honest. But anyway, we can definitely get together and have a free, no obligation health chat. And what you're going to do is just click in thevegancrew.com/schedule my chat all together. And that will send you to my personal calendar. And just please find a day and time that suits your needs. And if there isn't a time that would work for you, just shoot me an email at christy@thevegancrew.com, and we'll work together to find a time that best suits your need. And just for being so fabulous, I have created a beautiful PDF ebook that explains CBD oil into even greater detail. And this class, than what our class did today. So this little ebook is only 10 pages, but it's very informative, and it's free to you. And the link to the freebie and, of course, the webpage of wellness resources, that will be in the comments below this class. So if you're on YouTube, just look in the description below, and there will be all, everything that you need, the schedule, my chat, Christy@thevegancrew.com, email, and then the resources that you need. Anyway, do you have any closing statements, Dr. D?
Well, I would tell you that, Christy did a phenomenal job on that PDF little thing. So those people that just want a little bit more information or are more visually kind of be able to read through it, something and be able to understand it, I would highly suggest you go out there and read that, or you want a little bit more. She did a phenomenal job on that. So just on top of this, I would highly suggest for most people to just go out there and read that as well, that want to know just that little bit more. You will find a ton of more information on this, because again, we're just kind of talking 101 on this, but that one takes it just a little bit further than what we did here, and you will really get a good benefit out of that. So.
Thank you, Dr. D. Well, I look forward to speaking with you for your free, no obligation to buy anything health chat with me, so that I can learn more about you and your current health needs and your future health goals. I want to thank you for joining in today. Thank you, Dr. Dibble, for and what am I trying to say here? Joining in on all the fun today. And I want to say hugs and healing to everyone today. Are you all good, Dr. D?
I'm all good.
All right, signing off, you guys. As I go through the tech guru stuff. Let's see.